snap.
It's okay. I get to go live this morning and it's Friday. Yay. I
Yay.
am Jen Lee, aka Rebel Esquire. And I have Robert Brill here today. And I'm very excited about this to have Robert with us. He's a CEO of Brill Media, does ad agency and marketing work. And as you all know, I'm a super nerdy marketing person and he has been featured in 11 times in the Inc. 5000 and Financial Times 500. So very excited to have him here today. So thanks for being here, Robert. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me, Jen. This is awesome.
Yeah. So just as a brief introduction, tell us what you do and how you do it a little bit.
We eliminate guesswork from marketing
I
because
know.
our philosophy is that a lot of businesses, big and small, are guessing about the messages that are persuasive to their ideal customers, and our job is to understand the problems that agitate customers, the solutions that soothe, and the transformation that persuades. And then we buy advertising space to generate leads and sales.
Which I love the fact that you lead with the messaging because if you talk to any marketing people, it's really the clients you're talking to. That's what makes them call, what makes them click on the ad, what makes them do things. But I feel a lot of lawyers think that marketing and SEO and all that is snake oil
Right.
because they've been down that path before. So what are those like myths and misconceptions that you see business owners believing about digital marketing?
The misconception is that anyone can do marketing. And the other misconception is that we're all snake oil. Um, right? Like,
Yep.
you know, there's a reason why one of the, there's a reason why we're successful. And it's because there's standard operating procedures, redundancies, proprietary systems and processes, and case studies and testimonials. All these things ladder up into decommoditizing our business.
Mhm.
So when a company decides to go with the guy, could be someone's cousin or the person from Upwork, not to say that any of those individuals are bad, but
Right.
as an individual, you just don't have redundant systems because you're one person.
Mhm.
So, and we need wrinkles. Wrinkles requires time in the
Yes.
business.
Yep.
So those types of things help. And there are lots of people on Upwork, by the way, who end up starting big, valuable agencies. So not to say Upwork people are bad, it's just chances are you're going to get someone that maybe doesn't do everything the way you need them to do, and you'll never know because you don't understand. You put me in front of a car and say, fix the thing. I'll be like, all right, hammer. Oh, darn
Right.
it, I broke it. I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea what I'm looking at. And I empathize with the amount of mystique that comes with marketing and advertising because you don't know. So a lot of what we do is education.
Okay. I think that's important too because it is. It's a lot of unknown, a lot of, well, the algorithm now says this or the like we always hear about the algorithms, the things
Right.
like that. And there's such a low barrier to entry for some of the online agencies out there, or the online people doing things. Like
Yeah.
you can just open up a website. So I think that's part of it too. But talk about some of that mystique. What's your education piece look like for what you do?
Yeah, I mean, like I'll be on sales conversations and I'm definitely pulling up the site's domain authority. I'm
Yep.
looking for domain authority is a number from zero for your listeners, 0 to 100 that determines how easy or difficult it will be to rank for keywords, which then means your website or a page on your website shows up when people search for keywords that are relevant to your business. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, when people search for white label media buying, we're the first search result, and we sometimes show up in the AI engine result or the answer engine result.
Yeah.
And that's because we've optimized our page for that phrase. So it's very the details matter. In all
Right.
of this, the details matter. The other thing that I'm looking for is, do you have a meta pixel placed on your website? Do you have Google Tag Manager? Do you have, tags from other platforms, right? So what we're looking for when we talk to clients is really understanding where have you been, where are you going, what are your goals, and then we work backwards to understand what are the tactical
Mm-hmm.
elements there that can help you achieve success. But I mean, what we try to educate, right? So I never want people to just be like, wow, magic. I want people to understand what a domain authority is because as our client, you're going to understand how hard we're working for you. and you're going to understand exactly what success means when it comes to marketing. It shouldn't be a mystery. None of
Right.
what we do should be a
It'd be
mystery to our
guesswork. Yeah.
clients. Yeah.
I like that. You've mentioned a term there, white label media buyer.
Yeah. Yes.
What does that mean for people who aren't in the marketing and media space?
Yeah, so white label media buying. So media buying component is really just the work of buying advertising space. So when an ad gets delivered on Facebook and Instagram, Google, Hulu, your favorite news or sports site, there's someone who has to determine who gets the ad, how much they're spending on that, all that stuff. So it's the math, the Excel version of advertising. It's
Got
the
it.
math men version of advertising. The white label component of it is we serve agencies. So there are agencies that do creative work, they build brands, they build websites, they do SEO, but they don't do media buying because it's a very specialized skill. So
Mhm.
when you're investing $1,000, 10,000, $100,000 on any channel, like you want someone paying attention to it every day. Like you don't want to just be like have your graphic designer spending lots of your money because they
Right.
know how to make Photoshop and Lightroom look really good, but they don't know the intricacies. And we start to see the same, not that all of our clients are using the wrong person,
Right.
but what we see is that there are several, and I can talk about this, there are several key mistakes that companies make when it comes to ads that if you're running ads today, check on these things and it'll
Mm.
guarantee improve your ads. And I can
Okay.
talk about that. Want me to go
Go
into
ahead.
that?
Yeah, no, jump into
So
it. I guess I was going to ask was what's the biggest mistake you see when people are running paid ads? So that was a great
So
segue into that question.
with Google, so about 50% more or less of all ad dollars are spent on Google and Meta. So we're going to
Okay.
focus on those two platforms in
Okay.
the US in 2025. So number one with Google is a lot of businesses are erroneously running broad keywords. Broad keywords are phrases that your ad will show up when some small element of the phrase is in the keyword term. And the problem there is that your ad might show up on things that are completely unrelated to what you're trying to search for, what you're
Mhm.
trying to show up for.
Right.
So when we hear companies say we spend lots of money, we got a bunch of clicks, but no people to our website or no people to purchase or no leads, that's a clear indicator that you're probably doing broad targeting.
Okay.
And that's a phrase matching. So the key element there is going to be turn off broad, turn on phrase or exact, so that almost the exact phrase that you search for, that's the only time your ad will show up.
Mhm.
So if someone is searching for, I know we're talking about legal stuff, but easy example, basketball shoes.
Yep.
I don't want someone searching. I only want to show up when people are searching for basketball shoes or related red basketball shoes or something like that. I don't want to
Mhm.
show up when someone searches for tennis shoes
Okay.
because the word shoes is in
Was
that
in it.
phrase. That's
Yeah.
broad, right? Irrelevant. So that's an example. Another example, what we see often is that inside the ad account in Google, you're going to see convert. You may have a conversion, and the conversion point is a lead, right? People
Mhm.
submit contact information on your phone, but there's a place in the campaign setting where you are basically directing Google to count as a conversion any conversion that you've ever created on your Google ad account.
Okay.
And so the result of that is you think you're optimizing to a lead, but what you're actually telling Google is, remember that one campaign you ran 5 years ago where you set a conversion on some random page on your website? If someone
Mhm.
goes there, that's also a conversion. And if
Okay.
someone goes to some other page, that's a conversion. And someone does these other things, it's a conversion. No, like you need to tell it. I don't want to count as a conversion anything that I've ever set up. It has to be this one page or this one form that's been filled out, right?
So then your data's all messed up. Yeah.
Data's
Yeah.
all messed up and your data's all messed up, which means that the algorithm is optimizing for things that you don't want it to do and you don't even realize it. The
Got it.
last thing that we see a lot of is ad account. Again, in Google, ad account setup is incorrect. The key thing there is the difference between branded keywords and non-branded keywords.
Mhm.
Branded keywords are phrases that include the name of your business, so people are aware of the name of your business versus non-branded keywords where they're searching for something you do, not the name of your business. Those two types of phrases act dramatically differently. For example, branded keywords, there is far fewer of those searches relative to the
Right.
universe of phrases people can choose that don't use your name. You want to spend money differently. You want to bid higher on branded keyword. Like there's all these things that the mechanics are very different. Big mistake we see is we just see like one or two ad groups and everything is jammed in there. And the breakout is disadvantageous for the ad account.
Mhm.
So we do those things. I mean, dramatically improve cost per acquisition, improve lead cost. And then there's other elements that are sort of harder to kind of like direct people to do. It's like, changing the objective and testing objectives so that
Right.
you can optimize campaigns in a way that is a little bit more effective and, they're not miracles, but they're very close to miracles in ad accounts.
So Brill Media is known for like hyper targeting and programmatic ads. That's how your scalable system works and
Right.
how the whole back end. So what's possible when they use you and your tools well? What do they see?
Right. Well, what do they see? So the average for client results is 680% return. So $1 in, $6.80 back. And I'll tell you the system. This is the exact system that works right now that our clients are deploying and that we're also deploying for ourselves. It's several steps. Number one, message validation. Understand the problem that agitates, solutions that soothe, and transformation that persuades. Once
Yep.
and that takes about 2 months. We also confirm an offer that is relevant to the customer, and we also build a landing page where at least 15% of people will opt in for more information. That's
Yep.
dramatically high. The average for the marketplace is 2 to 5%.
Mhm.
Then generate demand. Generating demand is search engine optimization, it's advertising, it's retargeting. Generating demand and get people into your funnel. Getting people into your funnel really just means, hey, they're opting in for more marketing. There's something that you're saying that's familiar with them. The
Mhm.
last three steps is called I see you everywhere. Because we call it ICU everywhere because the result is ICU everywhere. People literally
Mhm.
come out the woodwork and be like, "Hey, I saw you a bunch. We should talk."
Yep.
So it's email marketing, 25 to 45 emails over the course of 100 days, case studies, testimonials, problem solution storytelling. The next step is called social preheating. And social preheating is essentially where you go into LinkedIn or you go into social media like Facebook and Instagram, and you just engage with the people who are either on your lead list or people who you'd like to work with. And the reason that's valuable for B2B or LinkedIn or some sort of high value thing where you can identify people on LinkedIn is because number one, you get notifications every time someone likes your post. You also get emails. So over time, people are just like, who is this person? I should reach out. So that happens.
Yep.
And then the last part of this is strategic retargeting. Strategic retargeting is not retargeting for the goal of just saying, hey, you should see more of our ads. What we do is we deliver case study ads. You may not want to get to know us right away because a lot of people on the internet are like arm's distance. Like
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just,
Like, stay away from me.
stay
Yeah.
away from me. And maybe if, I want to give them an easy yes. So I'm going to populate their news, sports, blogs, etc.
Yep.
with ads that say, look, we drove 801 people to this tourism destination, or, all these case studies that we have. I'm not even asking you to book a call with us. I just want you to read the case study or know that
Yep.
we exist and get familiar with our branding and our logo. We also do testimonial ads. So we take our best testimonials and we run them as ads and we drive them to a page on our website where it's basically just like, here's a bunch of testimonials,
Mhm.
building credibility. And then through our message validation process, we then say we know the language that resonates. The language that resonates for us is target larger clients confidently, eliminate guesswork marketing, eliminate guesswork media buying. And there's one more. And we also know the images. A lot of before and after images do really well. And we validate. Like I'm not guessing. I don't like I've tested dozens of images that are not effective to find the ones that are very effective. And then I just populate them everywhere. And then the final part of it is we post social media content routinely. It's just me talking head in this background. And
Mhm.
we take the best, the ones that get the most views or the most engagement or the most likes, and we put those on as video ads. Facebook, Instagram, we will be doing TikTok and online video. So like you can be researching for a camera or you can be on the news or whatever, and you're just going to see me as a talking head talking about something. Now, I'm not telling you you should buy from us. I'm also not telling you should even book a call with us. I'm just saying, here's our philosophy on guesswork marketing.
Yep. I think it's interesting though, because you said a whole bunch of great things in there. I'm taking off in my head, like what to go back to. But I think, especially in the legal world, because that's professional service providers is kind of who tends to be my audience. Um, all of this does seem very mystical, but you said something that was really cool. And that was this: I see you everywhere. I see that kind of model because a lot of them say, oh, I'm referral based.
Yeah,
And I'm like, you may be referral based, but I guarantee that once they've started interacting with your content and then they see an ad there, it's the compilation of all those things that makes
100%.
this work. And so how much time do people then put into like interacting with the content to make that all happen? What's that look like from the user side of or the agency side of things?
I mean, it could be tens or dozens or hundreds of interactions before people engage.
Yep.
The
Yep.
next step for that is we put together a super signature on our emails. So the super signature on our emails is like five different things you can do. You, if you ever need help, here's some resources for you. So we have the 21 things that will improve your ad accounts across search, social, and programmatic or banner ads. You can download that. You can watch a webinar on how to use ChatGPT to discover the problems that agitate, solutions that soothe, and transformation that persuades. Not validated, but a
Right.
good start. And, like free. Like all these different ways that you can interact with us. And then finally, it's the number five. It's, hey, if you want to talk, we're here to help.
Here we are. Yeah. I think lawyers often mess up the messaging part because they want to say they do estate planning or they do bankruptcy when that's not what their clients are searching for. So
Right. Because
that's what I
estate
tend to
planning,
steal.
what the
Yeah.
heck is estate planning, bro?
What does that mean?
I don't know what that is. I know realistically, I actually don't really know what that is. So I can't even give you an example. But it's like the person in the person's head is like, or she he or she are like, what is it? What exactly is estate planning?
Well, and I think a lot of times it's so like a will. What I would search for as a consumer
Right.
is how do I set up a will?
Right.
Or
Exactly. Estate planning experts. No, bro, like
yeah,
how to set up wills so you don't get raked over the coals.
exactly.
That's your headline.
And as a bankruptcy attorney, I always wanted people searching for like I I have too much credit card debt or how do I consolidate my loans or like those types of things. And I'm like, you don't want to even have the word bankruptcy because no one wants to talk to a bankruptcy attorney, even though that's the solution they're looking for.
Right.
So I find that messaging part, like that first step, is almost like the lynch point or linchpin sometimes of these things. So
100%.
yeah. Um, when people are interacting and you have those I love this email signature. We have different options for people to connect with you and to do things. Um, what is like a low effort, high impact change a business owner could make to just start improving marketing results?
Um, it's highly dependent on what they have been doing, what they
Yeah.
haven't been doing. I will tell you the thing that is most that I have the answer for this because I think about this a lot. The answer is search engine optimization. Just do that. Like it's the lowest cost. It takes time, but it's the highest long-term leverage opportunity that any given business has.
Mm-hmm. One other thing that you said that was really interesting was the landing pages, or you're driving people to a testimonial page and that kind of thing. I think too many professional services just send you to their contact page or their homepage. So, talk a little bit more about what a landing page actually does for some of
Yeah.
these campaigns.
Right. So the thing about websites is that websites have a lot of information. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone as a consumer, you are familiar with the fact that like you have 3 seconds. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
determine whether or not something is interesting over the course of 3 seconds. And having too much information stalls the brain and you just glitch out and you're like, all right, I don't know. Next. Like I don't want all that.
Yep.
What you want is to give the user an ad where it's a very simple message that tells them that they're going to get something good. And if that thing is persuasive, what you say is interesting to them, you take them to a page, not with 27 different links,
Mm-hmm.
with no links. You just want them. to get the thing that they were promised in the ad. So you
Right.
got a big old form, an image that's validated that you know is relevant, some very simple text that tells the user to download now or get instant access or whatever the thing is, and that's it.
And that's it.
Because you're not trying to sell them. They just met you 2.5 seconds ago.
Hmm.
Like dating with people takes years.
Yep.
Like so all of a sudden in business, I'm gonna do one of the most important things in my life with legal stuff that is
Mhm.
very scary to like almost everyone except lawyers and people who use the legal system, right? Like legal stuff in particular is very scary. So
Yeah.
it's like I have no idea who you are. I just need to, I'm opting in to say, I don't know, you don't look scary to me right now. That's all it is.
Hmm.
But you need another 100 interactions,
Yep.
plus or minus, for them to feel comfortable enough to be like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll give him a call. I like his face, or I like her face, or I like what they say, or they're in Los Angeles. They must know what I'm talking about because they must relate. Or I've seen them on the billboard, right? Like that's a big funnel, right? In
Yeah.
personal injury and whatnot. But the
Yep.
point now, there are situations where that's not the case, right? When there's immediacy, like when you just got into an accident, that's why you have a lot of billboards, right? Like recognize the face, you connect to the name, you do a Google search. That's a different funnel. So it's really about understanding how much time it takes for people to engage to make the decision. If it's not urgent within the next 24 hours, give people a yes that
Yep.
feels safe and don't overwhelm them with information.
I think that's a really good point because we tend to try to throw as much at them as possible. Look how great we are. Here are all the things, and here's all the stuff, and call us now. I had a lot of clients when I was as a bankruptcy attorney that would like parrot back to me all the things on my videos that I had on my YouTube channel and all that. And so it was great to see that they had already like bought in before I even met with them because
Yeah.
they'd been following for something. So that kind of thing works. Um, Speaking of billboards in LA, I just flew to LAX last week and I was laughing at the LA exit parking lot with all the personal injury billboards of we help people injured by rideshare drivers as the rideshare drivers are picking us up. So I thought that was hilarious.
Contextually relevant.
Yes. I was like, I should take a picture of that just in case something happens. Although I do know a lot of good personal injury attorneys in LA that I would call first, probably, but yes,
Right.
very important. So any like final, how do people find you? What can they find on your website? What should they go to and look at, especially if they're lawyers looking at building this scalable marketing system?
Yeah, I mean our site is probably a little bit outdated at this point. We talk a lot about white label media buying.
Yep.
So the site is brillmedia.co, Brill media.co.
Yep.
Um, what you won't find on our website that you really want to engage with is get on our email list and like let's share with you some of these tactical points that are highly relevant for a business because it's not about it's every lawyer knows there's a strategy. Like you're not just
Yep.
going to randomly walk into the courtroom one day and be like, I don't know, I have an idea. Like
I
you
chat
plan to,
GPT did.
right, like you have plans and your marketing has plans just like you have strategies. So
Yep.
that's the mindset that we want to espouse to our clients.
That intentional part of it is like this isn't random. It's not guesswork. There's
Right.
intentional ways to do this. So I love
Right.
that. The last thing we have on the Rebel Roundtable is we have a Spotify playlist of all the Rebel anthems from Guess.
Oh
And do you
yeah.
remember what you put on when you emailed me first about this?
The only thing I can say is I have no I have no idea, but Country Grammar from Nelly.
That's a good one. You put they not like us.
They not like us. Right, right, right. I'm a Dodgers fan. That's a big
Well, both of them are great.
yeah.
But I will get that added to our Spotify playlist. Anything that really jams anyone up and wants to get you like pumped up to do something. I think those are
Yeah.
good songs to have on the playlist. So um, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
I really
Jenny.
appreciate it. Everyone, please reach out to Robert Brill at Brill Media. If you have any questions, you want to be on their newsletter, I think it's a fantastic place to at least start learning about the things that your firm should be doing. And then taking the next step to build an intentional marketing model instead of haphazard, let's throw things out there and see what works. And then not identifying what doesn't work anyway. So Very good. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you, Robert. I